Hello everyone and welcome back. In this class I'm going to talk about a node of the filter category, called Blur node. Also, I'll take the opportunity to talk a little about Blender's user manual, which is an excellent tool for consulting about Blender's features. For that I'm going to use this same scene that we've been using throughout this section. If I click on the compositing workspace, we will see that the compositor already has a basic interface configuration setup with a reroute node and a viewer node. Besides, the interface already has an image editor configured to visualize the output of the viewer node. The file with this configuration is available for download along with this class. The first thing we'll do is render the image using the F12 key. When the render is ready, we can close the render window to start testing the nodes. The first node that we will see is the blur node. So I'm going to use the Shift-A shortcut to open the creation menu. And I will go to the filters subcategory. As we can see here, there are different nodes available for blur operations, such as bilateral blur, bokeh blur, and directional blur. But since my goal in this class is just to do a basic demonstration of the nodes of the filters category, I'm going to create a blur node, which is the simplest of them. And I'm going to move the node to the middle of the main wire of the composition, so that the compositor already makes the input and output connections. The main parameters of the blur node are the X and Y values. If we increase only the X value, for example, we will see that the image will be blurred only in the horizontal direction. While if we leave the X value at 0, and we just increase the Y value, we will see that the image will be blurred only in the vertical direction. When we want to blur the image in both directions, we can use the same value in both axes. To do this quickly, the ideal is that both axes have the same initial value. So I'll leave them both at 0. Then, we can adjust both at the same time as follows. We're going to click on the first field of the X-axis, and we're going to drag it down until the cursor reaches the field of the Y-axis. Then, without releasing the mouse button, we will drag to the sides to adjust the value. With that, the two values will be adjusted simultaneously, and we will see the image being blurred homogeneously in both directions. And that's basically all you need to know about the blur node. The nodes will often have other parameters, which will only be used in very specific situations. I'm not going to talk about all the parameters of all the nodes, because that would make the course tiring and with a lot of unnecessary information. If you eventually want to know more about a particular node parameter, or any other Blender functionality, just open the user manual at docs.blender.org/manual. The Blender manual is quite complete and is always being updated. It is not the best way to learn the software from scratch, as it does not have a didactic aimed at understanding the reasoning necessary for the use of the tools. But it is excellent at explaining the function of each parameter of the software. After you open the manual, simply search for the term in question in the search field. I'll type blur node. Depending on the search you do, the search may return multiple results. Then just identify the right option and click. We can see here that each node parameter is explained in detail. So, we don't have to worry about memorizing each parameter of each node of the compositor. The important thing is that we learn the working logic of the compositor, and the main functionalities of the most important nodes. And if we eventually want to see the technical description of a specific parameter, just open the manual and check the explanation. So, that's it for this class. Thank you for watching, and I see you on the next lesson.